Although not eligible to make an all-defensive team because of the 65 game rule, Jonathan Isaac is without a doubt one of the NBA's top 10 defenders and probably top 5. There's an argument to be made that he's actually the best defender in the league. So getting right to the numbers. Opponents are shooting just 40.3% when he's been the closest defender this season and 35.9% when he's contested the shot, according to Second Spectrum. Among the 293 players who have contested at least 200 shots this season, that ranks number 1. There isn't a single player who has held opponents to a lower shooting percentage. Something else that's staggering is that the average distance on those shots is 11.6 feet. So the only player holding opponents to under 42% shooting with at least 200 contests and a shorter average shot distance is Evan Mobley, whose is 10.8 feet. Now Mobley, even though he's been injured a lot this year, is one of the few players in this league that compares to Isaac as far as defensive technique, mobility, anticipation, instincts, footwork, and timing. If you're asking me right now who the top 7 defenders are in no particular order, I believe it's Mobley, Isaac, Chet Holmgren, Herb Jones, Rudy Gobert, Bam Adebayo, and OG Anunoby. Those 7 to me are the elite of the elite on defense. Another thing about Isaac is that he swarms his opponents without fouling much. He's only committed 25 shooting fouls this year out of 222 contests. That's just 11%, which is an excellent mark. And then the craziest stat of them all, opponents are shooting just 38.1% with Isaac contesting in the restricted semicircle. Since the 2013-14 season, that is the 3rd lowest mark in a season among players who have contested at least 50 shots from that area. Only 9 times has a player held opponents to under 40% shooting from there in this time frame. Just breaking down some shooting percentages by notable players with Isaac contesting. In 2 games between Orlando and Milwaukee, Giannis Antetokounmpo shot just 4 of 12 from the field against Isaac. Isaac, as you can see here, had a few blocks on him as well. Jason Tatum was 3 of 9. As I mentioned earlier, he does an outstanding job of crowding opponents without fouling, as you see here. Victor Wembanyama, 3 of 8. LeBron James, 2 of 7. Jaren Jackson Jr., 1 of 5. And then to highlight his ability to guard perimeter-oriented players as well, Luka Doncic was 1 of 4, and Jalen Brunson was 1 of 3. When Isaac is on the court, the Magic's defensive rating is a team best 101.4, and when he's off, it's a team worst 112.8. That 101.4 rating, by the way, is the league's best among players who have appeared in at least 40 games. Now offensively, he's an ancillary piece that crashes the offensive glass, spots up in the corners, and makes sharp cuts, which is something Orlando as a team is exceptional at, ranking 4th in the league in scoring off cuts. 16 of his 100 made shots have been putbacks. "17 have been off cuts. And he's made 20 catch and shoot threes. He's a pretty good lob finisher as well. Through his first 43 games this season in just 15 minutes per contest, Isaac is averaging 6.3 points on 49.5% overall shooting and 31.4% three-point shooting. So that'll wrap up this video. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe.